If you're an optimistic person, I'm sorry, you probably will not like this video. But don't worry, I say some optimistic stuff, but it's not fully optimistic. There's not many things to talk about when it comes to the optimism side for the New York Knicks, at least in this game. But I hope you guys are doing well. I forgot to say in my previous video, I hope you guys had a great Christmas or whatever you do celebrate. But I'm sorry, the Knicks did not gift us with anything great. It's the same old Knicks, even though we all know the 76ers are a way better team than us when it comes to talent-wise, just chemistry-wise. There are some new pieces when it comes to that 76ers team, but they're just a better team at the end of the day, and I thought it could have been worse. The Sixers did miss some open shots on the perimeter. Our defense was just absolutely horrendous. Mitch Robinson, I actually thought he had his best game of the season compared, well, it couldn't be worse than the first game. Sabonis just has so many moves in his arsenal, and he's just absolutely insane. But I thought he did a good job holding his ground. I know a lot of people will talk about Julius Randle being the player of the game, but I thought Mitchell Robinson played a mature brand of basketball. He didn't commit a lot of fouls. There was a couple fouls. I was like, these refs probably look at the scouting report like, yeah, look out for Mitch. He fouls a lot, so they just blow the whistle. But I thought he had a solid game. I thought he ran the floor very well. I thought he did a good job recognizing when to play straight hands up fundamental defense. So I want to give a round of applause, which I can't do because I have a microphone in my hand. I'm trying to figure out a setup, so I'm sorry I look stupid at holding this. But I thought he played a fundamental brand of basketball, and I thought he really did play solid in this game. Was he great? Was he good? No, I thought he was really solid because at the end of the day, no one was perfect in this game, and there's no such thing as being perfect. Getting into Julius Randle, I really wanted to give him credit in this basketball game, which I will still give him credit. He was really efficient. He was the whole reason we're in this game, in my opinion. He had timely buckets. He scored the basketball very well. He had some nice athletic plays, had a nice fadeaway. Of course, he had his turnovers. He had 4 turnovers. He got in foul trouble. But at the end of the day, that's what Julius Randle is. He's going to come with the turnovers. He's going to come with the wacky plays, but he just knows how to score the ball. So I want to give props to him for being very efficient. And I just realized my TV is on. I'm not professional whatsoever, so the lighting's probably awful. But I thought Julius Randle did a good job. The worst player of this game was definitely RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett was not great. I guess if you want to take like something positive away from it, that he did not shy away whatsoever, even when he was missing shots. But he was not efficient whatsoever. I believe he only made like 3 field goals or 2. He did miss a couple free throws. I believe he was 6 for 8 from the charity stripe. Did a good job initiating contact. But if you wanted to see RJ hit open threes this season, that's not been the case. He did do it in his first game, so I'm not going to get mad whatsoever. But you want to see him hit open threes, even though he did have a great first game, and you could be like, he probably cooled off. At the end of the day, they're open threes, and he has to hit them. And I want to see him hit his free throws on a consistent basis, which they did get better. But he did not do a great job finishing around the rim. I guess he was scared of Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons is a great player defensively. But I thought RJ held his own when it came to rebounding. Solid defensively, not the greatest. Ben Simmons was not the greatest in this game, even though he wasn't the only one guarding him because there was a lot of switching. But RJ Barrett did not hit his open threes. He was just awful. Volume score, they said, coming out of Duke, he shoots a lot. The efficiency was the big problem. We'll see if that continues, but he was great his first game, really efficient. But it all comes down to the consistency and the efficiency, because don't forget, he started off very well in his first NBA game in his rookie year, and he started the season really strong, but then he fell off efficiency-wise. But we hope he gets better as a basketball player. I'm still rooting for him for sure. If you're in a new Knicks uniform, I'm going to root for you unless you're Elfrid Payton. And Elfrid Payton, this team's not going to be good until they find a point guard. We need someone who can run the show, make the right decisions, shoot the basketball. Quickly might be the nice option right now. If he could be a steal, that's absolutely amazing, but he might just be a solid player at best. But I'll take a solid guy that can shoot, distribute, facilitate, play good defense, needs to get better guard on the pick and roll. But I don't know why Elfrid Payton's shooting threes or jump shots. He knows he can't shoot. The best players know they can shoot the basketball, or they know what they're good at. They play throughout their strengths, and they take away the weaknesses of their games because they don't want to get exposed. But Elfrid Payton, it just looks like he wants to be exposed out there. Another awful game from him. I'm really confused why we brought him back. I guess because of Scott Perry guy, but Scott Perry's kind of cursing us right now, and I would try to get rid of Scott Perry because just why not get rid of Scott Perry? I wouldn't mind keeping him, but just at the end of the day, Scott Perry, is he really going to make a difference? Is he going to make this team any better, or is he going to make it any worse? It's kind of making it worse with Elfrid Payton, but I thought this team would have been bad regardless, in my opinion. But he did not have a good game. Elfrid Payton, you know what you get with him. Did not do a good job setting up guys for open shots. But again, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, they held their own defensively and offensively for sure. Even though Ben Simmons didn't score a lot of points, he did a really good job passing the basketball and playing good defense. Joel Embiid, we all knew we were going to have no answer for him. He's an athletic freak. He could shoot the basketball very well. He's just a mammoth. He's a man amongst boys, and he's one of the best centers. You could say he's the best center in the NBA when healthy, ahead of Jokic. You could put him behind Jokic, but he's definitely a top 3 center. He's unbelievable. We had no answer for him. I thought Mitch Robinson actually held his own pretty well, though. I thought he had a fundamental game. He knew when to play straight hands up fundamental defense, didn't get into foul trouble, played 25 minutes, did have 3 fouls. There was a couple fouls that I was iffy about, like, is that the right call? Type of thing, but the refs probably just look at the scouting report like, oh, he has to commit a foul, we're just going to blow the whistle. But at the end of the day, I thought Mitchell Robinson ran the floor well, played good defense, and I didn't think he played erratic in this basketball game. But Alfred Payton did not play great, RJ Barrett did not play great. Julius Randle, I got to give credit to where credit is due. He was efficient tonight. He made some nice passes, but then he also had his moments in the game that he threw the ball away. It was like, I don't get it. You learn this in middle school. You learn this in elementary school. You don't jump and pass, and Julius Randle just makes the easiest, just those simple mistakes. You should know not to make that mistake. He hit open shots, so he had some timely buckets. In my opinion, we wouldn't have been in this game at the beginning if it wasn't for Julius Randle. He's not a part of this team long term, so I can't really get excited about his performance. But I thought he had a solid game for sure. I would say the player of the game is Alec Brooks and Mitchell Robinson. That's my opinion, though. I actually thought Alec Brooks had a good game. I thought he just scored the basketball very well. I'm really confused why we have this guy coming off the bench. I don't get that whatsoever. Maybe just so we don't bring out all the young guys at once, and we have a veteran guy that could command those troops of Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr. coming off the bench as well. I'll get to those guys later. But yeah, he just shoots the basketball very well. He's good at drawing fouls. I would just start him. If we're trying to win, I would start him, but I don't think this team's winning anyway. Reggie Bullock has his moments that he hits nice shots and then he shoots terrible shots. Just not terrible defensively. He's just when you think of Reggie Bullock for sure. But Alfred Payton we covered Alec Brooks, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. So we did cover the starting lineup. Alec Brooks was nice, like I said, and he's not terrible defensively. You're not looking at him like, what the heck are you doing? Kevin Knox, I actually thought had an underrated game. You may not look at the stats department and be like, oh my gosh, he was fantastic. He only had 7 points, but he hit some open shots, and I thought he was aggressive in this basketball game. He had some nice finishes. His defense wasn't like last year, what are you doing? I thought he had a nice performance, in my opinion. Was not great, was not spectacular. He was He was solid. I want to say he was solid when he did get the minutes and opportunity. Dennis Smith Jr. had a nice floater in the lane. What else can I say, really? Played good defense, got into foul trouble, I don't know. There's not much talk about Dennis Smith Jr. He's not a part of our future. He's probably going to be gone with Frank Ntilikina as well, because Frank Ntilikina got in just garbage time. They not utilizing Frank Ntilikina. Nothing that we have to realize Frank Ntilikina is good defensively, but he's just that bad offensively that we can't play him. We need a point guard that could somewhat put pressure on the defense, and Frank can't do that whatsoever. So I think they definitely look at him as more off the ball type of basketball player. But if you can't beat out Alfred Payton, you can't beat out Dennis Smith Jr., just those types of guys, you're not going to beat out anyone in the NBA unless the Knicks are really that stupid and he goes on to have a really nice role somewhere else. But even if we just gave him a nice role of 15 minutes off the bench providing good defense, I'll be okay with that. But Frank didn't get much action. Can't say much about him. But I thought Knox played well. Dennis Smith Jr. Who else am I missing? Jared Harper, I think, deserves some minutes. At this point, he plays with confidence. Not saying he's going to be our starter or anything. But when I really think about this game, no one is really fantastic in this game. Randall, you could say maybe had a solid game. Still had his turnovers. Still got into foul trouble. Had 4 turnovers, I believe. But they hit timely buckets. Seth Curry, I thought Doc Rivers did a good job. Tom Thibodeau, I liked his coaching, but at the end of the day, I just don't think Tom Thibodeau has the right team on paper. And you need talent in this league, at least in today's NBA. He does a good job coaching, in my opinion. Not a big fan of his rotations at times, but he holds these players accountable when he's not satisfied. Even when we're up in this game, if he sees one little mistake, he's going to let the players know about it. And Mitchell Robinson, he's given Mitchell Robinson a chance, even though he struggled in the first game. He started him again, so he's really a big fan of Mitchell Robinson. I like that a lot. We'll see what happens. So a lot of people saying that he's not a developmental guy. He's playing Mitchell Robinson, who's young. If he wasn't a developmental guy, he would be starting Nerlens Noel. So he wants to see Mitchell Robinson succeed. He wants to see RJ succeed. At the end of the day, those other guys are just not ready to be starters. We'll see what happens when Obi comes back. May know quickly. We play the Bucks tomorrow. It's going to be scary. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.